Work hard for what you want in life.
You work hard for what you want in life.
That your word is your bond, that you do what you say you're gonna do.
That your word is your bond, and you do what you say.
That you treat people with dignity and respect.
That you treat people with respect.
Reach of your dreams and your willingness to work hard.
The strength of your dreams and your willingness to work for them.
Work hard,
work hard,
work hard,
work hard,
work hard, work hard, work hard.
Hey guys, I'm Tatum.
And it's your girl Milan.
And welcome to episode 6 of the Black Girl Boss Podcast.
Woo, 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 woo. 6 God.
So, hot topics for today. I got such a kick out of seeing this on social media because I just knew Milan was going to go off. So, your girl Black China decided that she was going to do a nude photo shoot in honor of Black History Month.
Listen, she said that I think it was a comment made that she was going back to her roots.
Okay.
Going back to her roots. And I think that she feels that in the African culture that they do those type of things. This is what I'm getting from it now. Do I agree with it? Hell no. She's like a damn fool. You're like a damn fool. Like, all she did was take her stripper hoe body and from her stripper hoe tactics and paint herself and take a picture and called it a photo shoot.
But she didn't even complete the paint though. Her areola was all out.
I'm like, girl. Now, as we know in the African culture, they do walk around, with their body exposed, but they have nice wraps that they wear around their lower part, and their chest is normally out, or different.
And their bodies are real.
And their bodies are real, beautiful, and natural. Or some women, they have the full African culture attire on. Not what this hoe did. It like your son took paint and scribbled on you and said, "Mommy, let me color." I was like, "Excuse me?" And then it's, okay, yeah, she makes her own money. She's not a hoe. She's not this. What do you call this? This is trash.
She makes her own money, but she didn't build herself. Like, she was a stripper who got chose by a rapper and got pregnant.
And then got chose by Kardashian.
Yeah.
And got pregnant.
What type of come up is that? It's a come up nonetheless. So, whatever, girl. But come on. Okay, so check out her quote though. "In celebration of Black History Month, I wanted to push out my inner queen, express my ethnicity and beauty unapologetically," she told People magazine. Your inner queen? What?
Bosses, can we get a fail? Can we get a hashtag fail?
We need one of those
next. What? Your inner queen. So let me get this straight. I'm going to pose naked, paint myself to exemplify my inner queen.
But then, her hair was still fake. She ditched the blonde wig, but then she just got some curly clips. Why you ain't wear your real hair?
So we're going to pose this question again. I'm going to take a picture with my fake body, my fake hair, my fake eyelashes, with makeup on, and paint my body, not in the natural state that I came out as when I was born, to exemplify my inner queen for Black History Month.
But peep the poses though. What is she getting?
Let me see.
What is this?
That's given.
What?
Come through to the club and see me at Onyx or King of Diamonds. And
but she worked in the trap too when she was a stripper out here.
She did.
She didn't work in
she's
stadium.
From our area, you guys. If you didn't know, we're located in the DMV, and she's from DC. She went to she go to Anacostia? No, she didn't go to Anacostia High School.
I think she went. I don't know.
I forgot what high school she went to, but on Keeping Up with China and Rob, is that what it's called? Or
something
China and Rob, whatever the show is called. She took him to her neighborhood and he was like, "It's just so amazing to see where China comes from." Okay, see right there. Exemplifying your inner queen, because this is where you come from. You show people that's your upbringing. You don't paint your body of the African culture, and you may not have an ounce of anybody from Africa in you, even though they, you know, say we all do, but you know, you never know. So if you don't really know your history, can you really take that? And it's kind of offensive because she's basically saying like, okay, I'm exemplifying my inner queen and by doing this African tribute to Black History Month. So are you trying to say that Black history is only circled around?
I don't know. I think she just wanted to pose naked because she just had a baby and just wanted to say why.
Snap back.
Yeah, like, but just do that. Like, just
that game
understand. Just be like, I just had a baby and my body look good again. Hey, here's my bare ass. I would be like, okay, girl, congratulations.
Here's my bare ass with my areola sticking out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, okay, girl, congratulations. But don't try to be like, oh, this is I'm bringing out my inner queen and paying tribute. Shut your ass up. You just wanted to show your ass and you needed a reason to, and you knew it was Black History Month. Sit down, China.
So I think, bosses, for this week that we can all agree that for this hot topic, that was a fail of a job. Fail. Complete fail. Like, fail. All right, moving on. This is Tatum's girl, and I'm sure many of the beehivers. I'm not a beehiver, unfortunately. I'm not a part of Rihanna's Navy.
Why aren't you in the beehive?
I'm not a part of the Navy either, so.
I'm not a part of the Navy, but why aren't you in the beehive?
I think Beyonce is an absolute amazing performer, but I don't really care for her.
What?
Yeah, I just can't get with it. No.
Why?
I don't really see her activism in the community as strong as it could be as far as, you know, issues that go on, unless it's a major issue. Like, then Beyonce will come out and say something. But it's not like, for as much power as she has and to be that iconic woman, I feel like she could drive a lot of issues that don't get brought up, if that makes sense.
But like, her and Jay-Z don't move like that, though. They're never like move in the public type. They move in silence, like we said on the last episode. So they're the types that'll go and meet with people and you never know, or the public don't know, or they'll donate a large sum of money to different organizations and causes. They just not like, Beyonce is just not fishing for retweets to this cause.
Right.
Like, it's just
I definitely don't think it's like for a retweet, but it would be good to know, you know, because like I said, only time they get publicly recognized is when it's something huge, like with the Flint thing, and she had her world tour and she took the donation, you know, half of the proceeds went to Flint. It wasn't just like one of those, like you said, silent movements where she could have just donated to Flint and it was quiet. It was kind of like one of those major things. So that's how I kind of view her. I haven't really seen her or known much about anything that she does. So like I said, I don't think that she's a bad person. I just don't really get with her.
Is that Beyonce's fault or the media's fault for not picking up that stuff?
I mean, if you're gonna be a creep and a stalker and just research all deep into her, then I mean, I guess it could be the media's fault that they haven't. But at the same time, like I said, I feel like she does that when it's a major issue. Like, again, I have to use the world tour because that's the most recent thing. It was kind of like, okay, Flint's the issue, world tour, half the proceeds, there it go. You know, it kind of presents itself like that often. So for somebody that's not really like, you know, okay, let me research into Beyonce's life to see what she does. That's how it's presented. So that's why I said I really can't get with her, but her music and her performance, she's amazing. So I will say that. But like I said, it's nothing against the Beehive or saying, oh, Beyonce some shit, because I'm not saying that, because she's, you know, Single Ladies and Lemonade, honey, when that came out, I was Tell 'em Boy by all up and down it. So I will say that. But yeah, I'm not a Beehiver. But for all those who are, I'm pretty sure you were excited. So Tatum, I'll let you talk about your girl.
So my fairy godmother.
Oh, see, this is why we talking about y'all.
Decided. Let's go back to the day because.
Let's go back to seize the day. Is what Tatum is saying right now.
Let's just go back to the moments of all moments and how.
The moments. This is what I see.
The queen decided to bless all of us. In the middle of
because
the
that's
week.
Your godchildren, and
she just knew that I was at work at my 9 to 5, annoyed with everything, and I just needed something to just give me life that day, and I just needed something to just pick up my spirits because I was just going through it. And so she said, "You know what? I got you, girl." So this is what she did.
And I know that people on the other end of this is like, yes, girl, because I was in the car and I almost crashed because they said, I know y'all are all on one accord right now.
So 4 days ago, let me go back. My friend sent me the text message. See, I wasn't even on Instagram, but my best friend Brianna sent me a text message.
And yeah, Beehivers, just let y'all know, y'all shut down Instagram with that post. Like, I seen that post about 42 times in 30 seconds. And I'm like, what just happened?
But you know what? Speaking of that, this is what gets on my nerves on social media. it's always like something that people are excited about, and then everybody else mad that people are excited. Just let niggas be excited. Like everybody posting Beyonce's picture, and then somebody else will post a stank face, my face, while y'all keep posting the same Beyonce picture. Shut up.
I just want to know why everybody's so excited.
Just shut up.
I just want to know because not everybody was excited.
Because we love her.
For Sierra.
Okay.
Y'all weren't excited for Rel and his triplets.
So back to Beyonce.
Exactly. Cricket.
Ain't nobody checking for Sierra, okay? Unless she has like a beautiful gown on or she's bracing the cover of some magazine. Nobody checking for Sierra.
Right. She's more high fashion and
exactly.
Her.
Nobody
Okay.
checking for
I get
her
you.
and her gay husband. Anyway,
Gay husband.
back to
Russ
Beyonce. On Wednesday, around 2 o'clock-ish, I wasn't on
that was
social
February
media.
1st, right?
Was it?
I think that was February 1st. The same day
Yes.
Black China dropped her nude. Okay.
Okay.
So
all right.
we keep this in mind, bosses.
Do not come for the queen.
No, I'm not
comparing.
coming. No, I'm not comparing. I'm saying it's crazy.
Troll we was just talking about.
No, I was just saying it's crazy how they both dropped a picture. So now people are comparing the picture droppings and the relevance.
Beyonce didn't drop a picture. Beyonce dropped the biggest news of 2017.
Of 20. Wow. I have to make note of this, guys.
So on Wednesday, around 2 o'clock-ish, the queen just decided that it's Black History Month. I'm tired of hearing about Trump. The girls just need something, okay? My beehive has been, they've been listening to Lemonade since around this time last year, and they just need something else. So she decided to post a picture of her just casually sitting down.
Casually?
Let me find
with the veil on and casually.
With the veil and these flowers in the background in this sky. And she said, I'm just going to tell everybody that I'm pregnant. And not only is she pregnant, she's pregnant twice. She has 2 baby Carters inside of her.
Wow, this is epic.
It really is. Do you know, just how amazing that these children are going to be?
So do you think it's natural? You don't think it's natural?
That ain't none of my business. All I know.
So that's not your business.
No.
But, okay.
How they got up in there is not my problem. My theory is Jay-Z listened to Lemonade and was like, oh, okay, she going to try to put me out there. I'm about to trap her some more and put 2 more babies in her ass and she ain't going nowhere. I think that's what happened.
Trap.
I'm about to shoot the club up and we're going to have some baby Carters. So she's having 2 babies. And so I'm so excited because I have some more, nieces and nephews that are going to be brought into this world. So we're pregnant.
So you want to say baby shower?
Maybe.
I'll just wait schedule.
I have to call Blue and see if I'm invited, but I'm just so excited.
This is comical
about the queen being pregnant. This is awesome.
This is comical. That's what it is.
This is just the greatest news. I'm so excited. It was so funny because I was at work, like I said, so my friend sent me the text and I was like, Beyonce's pregnant. Like I yelled out at work and everything. I didn't give 0 fucks. So I was like, Beyonce is pregnant. So one of my coworkers, he's Hispanic from this Puerto Rican guy that doesn't know anything about pop culture. He listens to classical music and stuff. So he was like, yeah, I heard Beyonce's pregnant. I'm like, how did you know? I'm sure you don't even have an Instagram. This is how big this news is. And then somebody else was in the break room, yeah, Beyonce's pregnant. I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited.
It was one of those world stop, carry on moments.
Exactly. I was like, you know what? When is the baby due? I think I'm gonna have to take off that day because I just need to take this in. Why are you looking?
Y'all should have seen how I just looked at Tatum. I can't stop. Okay. Okay.
But anyway, that was the news of the century. But back to business stuff. So I saw some posts. A couple things got on my nerves about how Black girl bosses was responding to this news. First, a lot of people was posting stuff like, y'all will post celebrities, babies announcements, but y'all won't post your friend's business. I'm irritated by that. First of all, I don't care if my friends post my business. I just need them to be my friends. I don't need them to be advertisers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is so annoying. And then I have a real problem with people comparing apples to oranges. If you want to make a comparison, let the shit be two things that's the same. You know what I'm saying? Us posting Beyonce's pregnant is not advertising anything. It's just saying, oh my God, I'm excited, Beyonce's pregnant. You posting your friend's business based on your argument is saying like, not you, of course, but based on whoever posted this argument is saying like, you should post my business to promote me. Mm-hmm. We're not telling nobody to go buy Beyonce's baby gifts. You know what I'm saying? We just saying we excited that one of our favorite artists is pregnant. So what the hell does that got to do with the other?
I think a better argument probably would have been more so like if, let's say I wasn't on the podcast and we're friends and I posted Beyonce, but I didn't post how excited I was that you started the podcast. I think that could be a better comparison versus saying like, oh, you know, like you're not promoting your best friend and their work and trying to get them sales. But yeah, that would be probably a more reasonable, but still stupid comparison.
It's still dumb because
it's a baby.
It's a baby.
It's a baby.
Exactly.
It's
so
a baby.
If I was pregnant, I do not care if my friend posted I'm pregnant. But if I was pregnant, you know, that's something that will be post-worthy to me by a friend. Like, I'm so excited my friend's about to have a baby. Or if I'm getting married, I'm so excited my friend is getting married. But you posting my business, that doesn't matter.
So the argument is business versus baby.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the concept around it as far as Beyonce and business, but it's the business and baby concept.
Yeah.
Now that'd be different if they said like, oh, y'all can post that Beyonce got this deal with Tidal, even though it's Jay-Z's Tidal, but you know, you got this deal with Tidal, but you can't post that your best friend did this. Then that's business and business, but it's business and a baby.
So everybody that's saying that, shut up. Just shut up.
Shut up.
Dang, focus on how to find some real marketing strategies as opposed to getting mad because your friends ain't posting something, but ain't nobody gonna buy it anyway. So just hush.
Absolutely. And I think that brings us into our next.
Oh, yeah. See, oh my God. So I get on Facebook and I'm in this Facebook group or whatever. So I scroll through Facebook groups a lot. I be trying to be active, but half the time I don't be having nothing to say. So I just read a lot of stuff. So this is like a women in business Facebook group. So the girl this girl screenshotted an email that she sent out to her list, right? And put it on the group and was like, y'all, this Beyonce announcement is like such a big deal. Y'all need to capitalize on this. I just sent this email out to my list. Here are some ideas. There are two problems with this. First of all, her ideas is like, have a bundle of joy package. So put together some of your courses and your services as a bundle of joy package to sell to people. Or I can't remember the other one. But then she was like, excuse my typos. I wrote this email in 3 minutes. There's your first problem. Was it that serious that you had to type this email in three minutes?
Yeah, girl, she had to get it before somebody else did.
And you knew it was typos. So much so you said, excuse my no, you need to fix those typos. What, like, come on, like that gets on my last nerve. It's like this Beyonce being pregnant and you putting out a bundle of joy. I really do not see how that's going to drive any type of sales. And I'm putting myself in it because it's like, I'm a huge Beyonce fan. So am I going to go buy somebody's stuff because they put together a bundle of joy package? Hell no. For what? Like, that is so crazy to me. And people be like, oh yeah, girl, that's a good idea. No, that ain't no good idea.
The name is cute, bundle of joy.
And we was even on a call the other day and I told y'all how like, somebody has said something like 3 ways you could balance business and baby and use like Beyonce picture as the background. Y'all need to chill the fuck out. I don't understand.
She's iconic. So they're going to use her in any way possible. Listen, they figure if she can drop a picture and it circulate to over millions of people in 30 seconds and get so much feed that if they use that same concept, it's going to happen to them.
It's not. Unless the only thing that will work for is if you were a gossip blog or something like that and you said 3 things you don't know about Beyonce and this pregnancy, or even if it's a fake story, something like the first thoughts of the family when they found out Beyonce was having twins. Like, you can sell that type of story if you was like a gossip or media outlet. That's something that you can use Beyonce for to get traffic to your site. But you selling packages, like, come on, girl, what?
Absolutely, I agree. That was good. That was good, Tatum. Y'all need to hire Tatum for content.
Listen,
give you some ideas.
Marketing services coming soon.
I was just about to ask. They really got one about what the family thought? I was really going to ask you that.
No, I made
that. I realized you were playing. But I mean, listen, y'all. Not all publicity is good publicity. Not all bad publicity is horrible.
And not everything drives sales. You need to realize what's going to drive sales, not what can get people to click. Like, put your priorities in order. Like, it just really annoys me sometimes. And especially now, it's like everybody is focusing so much on being trendy. Nobody wants to be like, have substance, have classics. There's a reason why books like How to Win Friends and Influence People and Think and Grow Rich have been around for decades and centuries, and not they weren't just around for the lifetime of the author. It's because they had substance that is timeless.
Absolutely.
So trying to hop on hot topics and trends to make a quick buck, I think it's tacky.
A quick buck.
It's so tacky to me. Like,
absolutely. You
remember back in the day when everybody was wearing name belts.
Jesus.
Name belts was the shit. Everybody had a name belt. If you had a couple extra dollars, you had the little digital one. My mom told me it was ugly and I couldn't get one, but I wanted one.
I did too.
I did. So if you had a couple extra dollars, you got the little digital joint that had some words. Everybody was so into those. Time went by. Nobody wears name belts anymore.
They're ugly.
Exactly.
They're champ.
They look stupid.
They're champ. And that's the DMV word for weak, for not happening, not popping. It's a fail.
Exactly. So they're ugly now. So why would you create something that's not going to last? Right. You're creating more work for yourself. The key to being productive is to create content that you can repurpose.
Right.
So if you have a blog post on, let's say, 3 ways to monetize your blog, there's a post. Then you can make a course, 3 ways to monetize your blog. Then you can make a video talking about it. You can do so much. Now you have multiple forms of content off that one original post. So moral of the story, don't be a name belt, sis. Be something that actually lasts, okay? And matter of fact, I'm gonna name this podcast that.
Don't be a name belt, sis.
The point is to like do something that's actually going to last and be valuable, and stop trying to be trendy. Oh my God, it's so.
Because what works for one does not work for everybody else.
Exactly. And it's no shortcut to making money. And you want to be able to make money in your sleep. Mm-hmm. And the way that you do that is to create things that are actually of value and not just popular.
Mm-hmm. Just keep in mind that when Beyonce dropped that picture, she still has other avenues of money. That was just to say, hey, I'm pregnant. She wasn't getting $1 million. She may make money off of it. We don't know who probably gave her money. Probably the tabloids, of course. But she has different business ventures and avenues, her and Jay-Z both. So that's why they have their money. They don't have their money because she just drops announcements every year or every 6 months. So don't think that creating that bundle of joy package is going to keep you making money. No, don't use her Beyonce's thing to make it your thing and think that that's what's going to happen, because it's not. So I give that a fail of the day.
When I saw that, I was like, I'm logging off, because this is a sign that I just need to get the hell off of social media.
I'm changing my password. I'm going to delete my social media today.
Because this is just too much.
Right.
And even so, matter of fact, Beyonce is supposed to perform at Coachella. So nobody knows if she's still performing or not. She probably will. I mean, she still performed at the MTV Awards when she announced that she was pregnant with Blue. She just did a chill little performance. You know, she's not about to be
on top.
Yeah, so she might still do something, but they still giving her $1 million whether she performs or not.
Honey, because they got them sales, okay?
Exactly.
And exactly. No refunds. Exactly. So they're going to give her her coin.
Exactly. She put them sold right on out using her name.
See?
And that's the point. Like, Beyonce created value for her audience, and she created value that's timeless. She could come out here and do Naughty Girl from however many years ago, and people are still going to listen.
Remember that time on the BET Awards when y'all thought she was coming and she sent y'all a video?
She said, you know what? Black entertainment television.
Gotcha.
Y'all want to use me? All right, I'm not coming. But y'all could Facebook Live my performance over here.
That was hilarious. I said, ooh, y'all, I was on the phone with my line sister. She said, oh, be quiet. I said, she not coming. She said, yes, she is. So I said, oh, she said, oh. I said, she on a world tour. You thought she was coming? You thought she was coming on her, please.
To BET?
Please, on a world, and she on a world tour. Come on, y'all.
That was the biggest trick bag. That was ridiculous. BET knew they was dead ass wrong for that. They should not have done that.
But they got them ratings and them views.
I know. And people, we watched it to the end because they told us Beyonce was performing at the end.
Got y'all.
They tried it.
Yeah.
That's why me and BT got a love-hate relationship now. They came out that New Edition story and the quad, so I'm kind of back on them a little bit for right now. But
that is good. I wonder who's doing their content right now, because no, I don't really care. Deborah Lee, I don't think that she has it in her to actually, drive that thought.
Whoever is working at BET right now with programming and content are killing it.
Yeah, they are killing the game right now. And that's what we definitely wanted to see. For all those who don't know, I actually wanted to, and I still do want to work for BET. The ultimate goal that I envision, of course, when I get into like the 30s, 40s, is to become the CEO of BET.
Oh, wow.
Because I felt like what we just said, they had lacked the original substance of Black entertainment television. And sometimes your CEO, and at all times, we have that, we hold that power to change direction of our company. And I felt like Deborah Lee didn't really take that initiative. Right. And how long has she been the CEO? Like
maybe over 10 years.
Over 10 years. So it took us 10 years to really get back in that transition. Absolutely not. So it was unacceptable for me. So I actually am glad to see that we are taking that route back. And I want to see how long we're going to stay consistent with that and what else we bring, because BET definitely fell off.
For sure. But that New Edition story, did you watch it?
I really don't watch TV because I'm never home.
I telework. That's when I watch everything during the day while I'm faking like I'm working.
When I come in the house and I get right to work, I'm working from 5 to 3 o'clock in the morning. My TV is off, so I miss a lot of things. So y'all have to excuse me if Tatum speaks on things that I'm not really chiming in, but I just don't have time to look at the television. So one day when I quit at 9 to 5,
it was good. Okay,
I heard. I seen nothing but great things about it.
Was excellent. I've watched it like 3 times. It was excellent. Shout out to teleworking, because I surely be right on up.
I miss
everything I recorded and watch it during the day, because when it's business time, after work hours is when, like you said, you buckle down. But during the day, for these people, I'm going to watch TV while doing their work.
Y'all know I'm at a 9 to 5 answering people's phone calls all day, then come home, transition into full business mode for the company. So that's the time. So Tatum has to keep me abreast. She definitely keeps me up on what's going on television. So appreciate you, boo.
Let's take a break and then we'll come back with the topic of the day. And we're back. So today, let's talk about social media, because this is like a topic that everybody wants to know so much about. Like, how do I grow my following? How do I turn views into sales, or likes into sales, follows into sales, etc.? Like, let's just break down social media from our knowledge. So guys, by no means are we like the gurus on this shit, but at the same time, we both have experiences where we know a lot of like things that's worked for us, things that haven't worked for us. And at the same time, when your industry is different stuff will work. But let's break it down. First, let's talk about, hold on, y'all. Okay, how to grow a following organically. This is something that a lot of people don't know how to do. So how do you do it?
Honestly, I hashtag, I utilize different locations in my post, and I do my peak hours because, when you're through Facebook with the new, the new analytics, thank you, that they have, it shows you your peak hours. So I normally just post around my peak hour time, utilize my hashtags, and use the geotag. And it also helps because with the hashtags now, they show you how many people are posting under that hashtag.
Right.
So it'd be like 640
on Instagram or Facebook.
On Instagram. Sorry guys, Instagram. 643,000 had, posts under this hashtag. So you post under the most popular hashtag, and that's a great way to gain your followers. And then with the new ability of having the opportunity to be on the explore page without being someone famous also helps, because if your post has been liked a lot in a certain amount of time, it'll be on the explore page, and then a lot of people go to that picture and then like your post and start following you. So that's how I've gained a lot of my followers. When I was in Vegas for my birthday, I literally went to sleep and woke up with literally 500 new followers off of one picture and how that picture, and I actually didn't hashtag much. I just put Vegas 919, but from that many people liking it on my personal page,
right,
with my current followers, went on the explore page, and that's how I started obtaining it. So I think that post got like 1,800 likes.
Yeah. And I think that's a good point. Hashtags, and then you can be on the explore page, and you can be on like the top post for that hashtag if you get a certain amount of likes.
Absolutely.
So definitely hashtagging, you guys, and then having quality pictures. Oh my gosh. Like some pictures just be looking crazy. Make sure your picture is actually visually appealing, because we're talking about Instagram here. So with Instagram, it's a visual platform.
Yeah.
So you really have to make sure that your pictures look good, and then pick the hashtags that are relevant. So a good exercise would be to pick or find hashtags that are popular within your niche. So for example, let me pull up our page. In our page, we started posting consistently maybe around the end of December.
Yeah.
So for December, the month of December, we were able to grow our social following by like over 100%. And then I actually did the numbers recently for January. It's February now. So for January, we were able to grow our following. Oh, I didn't have the percentage. I'll tell y'all another episode. But our engagement percentage is high. So going back to the hashtags. So on our page, the hashtags we use the most are things like, hold on, y'all. I'm trying to find a post that I use them on. Okay, so stuff like Black Girl Magic, Black Girl Boss, Millennials, Boss Babe, Black Entrepreneur, Women in Business, stuff like that. So Instagram doesn't allow you to have more than, I want to say 23. I don't know the exact number, but they don't allow you to have more than a certain amount of hashtags. So if you're trying to get more engagement on your post and get more followers, then you should find those hashtags that have the most. Absolutely. And also find some that vary. So find some that maybe have, let's say, 10,000 posts under that hashtag, and then find some that have maybe 5 million in that hashtags. Yeah. So try to find different levels of engaged hashtags and pick the amount that's the best for you. And then once you find those and you narrow down that list, then put that in like the notes of your phone.
Stay consistent.
Yes, put that in the notes of your phone. And so what we do, and a lot of people do, is they'll put like 4 dots before it. So that way it doesn't like just look messy in your comments. And so save that into your notes section of your phone. And whenever you post a picture, just copy and paste it in the comment section and use that. And you'll start seeing a lot of people are going to be liking your posts. A lot of people are going to be following you. That's it's an easy way to really get your engagement up. And it's going to be those people that are just dumb, because some people do stuff like, like people so something that social media people teach is you should go and comment on people's stuff and like it and stuff like that to get them to look at your page and follow you back. But people will do stuff like, you could post, "My dog just died," and they'll be like, "Cool, great post." Like, that's not paying attention.
What I realize, those are spam followers.
Right.
Those are spam. Those are spam pages, because if you go look at them, they'll have weird content on their pages. You can kind of differentiate, and you have to be careful with that, because a lot of those spam pages can be hackers. So you don't want to engage too much with them. Right. So it's like a hit or miss, but also keeping your password. This is off topic of content, but for those hackers and spam pages, if you have a really complicated password, then it should be over more than 18 characters. Unfortunately, you'll be kind of protected. So especially when you're getting up there in followers, you become more of a target of hacking. Right.
Exactly. So definitely start utilizing those hashtags. Another thing that I learned that works, is very manual and very tedious, but it's a quick way to boost your following, is to connect your Facebook with your Instagram. And so you're able to go to your Instagram settings, and it'll say follow people. And if your Facebook is connected, it'll say Facebook friends. So you click on that, and then there's an option for you to follow all. So right now, we have whoever Facebook is connected to this, has 1,759 friends on Instagram. So if I click follow all, then most likely a good percentage of those people are going to follow me back. With over the next few days, it'll be like a whole bunch of new followers are going to be following me back. And so that's a way to boost your following count quickly. So you might get about 500 or so new followers, depending on how many Facebook friends you have, within like a week span. And so that's something to get your number there. But again, when it comes to engagement and actually having those followers be converted into sales, that won't be the best tactic, because your cousin from across the world may be following you, or that girl that you was cool with in 8th grade might be your followers may be full of people that don't really mean anything for your target audience. So that's not the best way to get an engaged following. But if you're just trying to get started and get those numbers up, that's a little hack that people use. Also, something that people do is like you do targeted followers. So if you go to, let's say, a thought leader in your industry. So let's say you're a comedian and you go to like Kevin Hart page, or even somebody more local, if this maybe not as huge as Kevin Hart. It'll tell you if you go to the follow button next to it, it'll give you suggestions on who to follow. So you can go there and follow those people. And then you can go to one of their high engaged posts, or a post that has the most relevancy for what you do, and follow a bunch of those people's in their comment section, people that's following them. And then those people will come back to your page and they'll start following you back. They'll start commenting on stuff. So that's a way, they call it targeted following. So that's a way to help boost your follower count as well. Now, what happens when you use these little hacks is you end up following like a bunch of people, and then your following ratio look crazy. You'll be following 8,000 people and you have 1,000 followers. So it's tedious, because then you have to go back and do a bunch of unfollowing. Right. But if you're looking for quick ways to boost that actual follower number, those are some hacks that's taught by different social media experts or whatever. But the biggest and the best way, in my opinion, is to be consistent, is to continuously put out meaningful content. And like we said earlier in the show, be smart about your content. So if, like I said before, if you have that social media, if you have 3 ways to monetize your blog as a blog post, break that up into different content. Right. Go on Facebook and say, how do you guys monetize your blog? Ask a question and see if people comment. Or go to Instagram and post like a video and do like an Instagram live on ways that you've been able to monetize your blog. Or do like an e-course on how to monetize your blog, and do like a free one to try to build up your email list. So that's the best way to build an engaged following. And then your following will be full of your target audience. Absolutely. And also, don't be on any social media account that you're not able to analyze. Like, you should have analytics at all times, because you need to know and be able to adapt it to what you're doing. Absolutely. I definitely agree. And to add to what Tatum just said, all of what Tatum just said, posting under your niche. Make sure your content looks like what your brand is representing. Right. I can't express that enough. Like, make it known what exactly is that you do. I know for my page, my bio stands very strong as to what I do, because I'm the face of my brand. So I have to post, a lot of me pictures, and I have a company page. So to drive traffic to my company's page, I have 9,400 and some followers on my personal page and 1,000 on my business page. So I post like little things and say to check out more, look at, my company's page. So I do things like that. Granted, I don't keep those company posts up that long, only because, not to be funny, but I attract people based off of me. Right. So that's fine, because you're going to follow my page, but you're going to see that I post about my company. So I try to keep that, and then I try to keep my posts under a certain amount too. Like I said before, I can't do over 80 posts. I think I got 81 right now, which means I got to go delete something. But nonetheless, I try to do that. So just knowing your niche and really focusing your post around that. Exactly. Nobody should be confused when they go on your social media account. So like, being objective, if I go on Milan's account right now, I know it tells me flat out she's a publicist. It tells me that she's a CEO of U Management. She's an entertainment and celebrity publicist specifically. She has her other pages up there, and she has her website. So if I'm just scrolling through her page, not looking at anything specifically, just trying to figure out her, it's a bunch of lit pictures. You know what I'm saying? Cute pictures, her having fun. It's a lot of like, I wouldn't say flashy. I would say flashy.
Flashy. You can say it.
It's a lot of flashy pictures, but she's a publicist, and specifically she's a celebrity and entertainment publicist. So that is what people in her niche want to see. So if you go on my page, hold on, let me find it.
That's what it's Tatum's.
Okay, so you do me. What do you see when you look at my page?
Okay, so automatically, like we talked about the bio, I read bios first for me. So founder of the Queen Academy, host Black Girl Bosses podcast. I teach women how to boss up. I teach queens how to be queens. So those two things automatically stand out for what I'm going to look at her page for. So I go down. Her first post is her sitting on a panel at Hampton University. What advice would you give younger girls who aspire to be successful in life? Pause. Go back some. I teach girls how to be queens. I teach women how to boss up. Automatically, her first post is describing exactly what her bio says. You go down it a little bit further, you see her taking pictures of her computer of always doing work, and it's always going back to what she does, the Queen Academy, the podcast. You go down some more, you see a young woman in her queening shirt, but she's a woman. And queening goes back to her bio. So you see things like that. You also see the personal levels of Tatum when she's just taking a cute, pretty selfie, but it's classy. She's teaching you how to be a queen. It's nothing raunchy. It's nothing out of the ordinary. She's showing you how she dresses and how she has, you know, self-respect. And that's what I get from that. And mind you guys, this is us just going right now, analyzing each other's pages. We didn't, you know, pre-discuss this. So this is me just giving my observation. Like I said, to what I see right now on Tatum's page. What else can I see? I see her at many networking events. So that means that she's about her business. So for automatically from that, I see that she's about her business, meaning she's bossing up as a woman, and then that she has her Queen Academy all over her page and the podcast. So she represents her brands through her personal.
Right. And then a lot of my captions are, my thing is inspiration, right? So a lot of my captions are long as I don't know what, but people read them because it's interesting. So I might have a nice picture. So let's go.
Can't believe it's been a year since the photo shoot. This was done as I was in the branding phase for the Queen Academy. In a short year, so much has changed. I am nowhere near the woman I was in this picture. I'm 10 times more determined and 10 times more focused. I'm so excited about the future and all of the amazing things I'm working on right now and haven't announced yet. GodIsTheBomb.com.
That was from a while ago.
I know, I was scrolling. Like but that was inspiration because you threw God in there, and just to show how he's definitely been in your life and made you that woman. So that was, I mean, I always find God inspirational because hello,
that's bae.
I would say hello, that's bae. You know, so I mean, we can't speak for everybody, but that's just our personal on how we feel. So you'll always hear us reference God through probably almost every podcast that we speak on.
So even stuff like I posted one, it's like my two computers, and I was like a glimpse into my life. So people are nosy, so they want to keep reading, and they'll say, or if I say like long post alert, they're gonna start reading it because they're nosy. Absolutely. So I'm talking about how recently on the podcast, so I'm bringing it back to what we talked about that week on the podcast about balancing a 9 to 5 with business. And I said that I woke up, logged in for 9 to 5, did some work, left to go to Hampton for that speaking engagement. And after the speaking engagement, I logged back on, did work. So I'm basically giving you a glimpse into what the day is like for somebody who's balancing a 9 to 5 with a business. Right. And so that's relevant for the podcast. It makes people go to the podcast page, and is relevant for myself and the things that I'm doing. So it's all on point and on target as far as the brand goes.
Absolutely.
So let's go. Oh, go ahead.
No, I love it. I love your page.
So let's go to in my page. A lot of people focus a lot on like follower count, but what's important is the engagement. Yeah. So my analytics on my page engagement is like 150 something %. Okay. Engagement. So you look at my page, I have like 1,400 followers, but 156% are engaged. You know what I mean? So that shows that I may not have 10,000 followers, but I have people who are paying attention.
Right. So I'm looking at mine. So like impressions for this week in total, I have 79,360 impressions. The reach that I made this week from last week, the difference from last week was 18,728 in reach. So those are good numbers. Like that means, you reached 18,000, people. So that's really, really good. So those analytics, like we said, are important.
So pay attention, you guys. All you have, literally, in order to get your Instagram analytics, all you have to do is connect it to a business page on Facebook.
That's it.
So they're giving you an opportunity to look at what works and what doesn't. So if you know that your audience is online on Sundays between like 12 to 9, then that's when you need to be posting. Or say it's a time frame. So like on Sundays for the Black Girl Boss page, the busiest time on Sundays is between 6 and 8 o'clock. So we might post between 12 and 9, but if it's something we really want them to see, between 6 and 8 is when we're going to post that.
Absolutely.
So really pay attention to the analytics and figure out what's working and what's not, and be very, very consistent.
And another note to add is if you're trying to reach outside of your current area, make sure your location, your geotag is in the location that you're trying to build up. I know for my client, Mars Models, at the time, she was only really reaching this area, like the Baltimore, Maryland, PG, and I don't even think it was even New York. It was like random places, like Silver Springs was on there. Yeah. But now she's in New York and LA, but that's because she started tagging places in Los Angeles. Like she sent me a message one day and said, give me a place in LA. I said, Hollywood. We're in Hollywood. I'm like, Melrose Boulevard. She's like, okay, hashtag, and she put it up in her geotag, and that helps her get her location out to LA and New York now. So she's just not on this side of being seen. And then after that, I know one of the top models from America's Next Top Model this season, she liked her post. And then Gabby Douglas favorite one of her tweets.
Okay.
So, it kind of, it worked.
And that's funny because even if you're not really there, you could tag it and say that you're there.
Right. You can tag, girl. People be like, you in LA right now? I'm like, no. They're like, well, why you post that? Just wait on it.
It's just a strategy,
It's just
girl.
a strategy. It's a strategy, sis. Look, relax. I wish.
And have some fun too. Get your followers really, really engaged with what you're doing. So we had a post on the Black Girl Bosses page the beginning of January, and it was a picture of us, and it was like, tag your business best friend. And so this was like one of our most high engaged posts. So people are tagging their friends, and then their friends are like, what is this girl tagging me in? So then she looks at it like, oh, okay, what is this? And they start paying attention. And 9 times out of 10, it's your business best friend. So you're in our target audience. So we're utilizing the followers that we have to bring people to us. And we engage our followers. We provide opportunities for them to be a part of the show. So we answer questions. We do wins. We have our new website launching next week where some of our followers are now our contributors. So not only do you provide value and be consistent, actually engage and care about your target audience. You know what I'm saying? Because without them, you won't have a business. So provide value and definitely engage them.
Ooh, another thing to keep your followers, do not flood back to back. That is annoying. Super annoying. Like if you post 3 times within a day, cool. Or you post more than that, cool. But don't post 6 times in 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's annoying.
That's going to piss somebody off, because you also have to think about the times your followers come on. So if you posted 5 minutes ago, 9 times out of 10, that same person is still on Instagram because or whatever social media, because we hold our phones in our hand, we scroll down, then we happen to, okay, like I'm going too far now, so I'm gonna scroll up, refresh my page to see what's new. Yeah. And you there once again with the same thing. I'm like, are you serious?
Just like
right
people
now?
was annoyed with that same Beyonce post. They annoyed with your same selfie.
Exactly. So think about, yes, use that, Beehivers, or anybody else that saw that and was annoyed. Think about that. Think about how annoyed you were, or think about how you posted and you like, okay, oh, seriously, Beehive? Like, okay, we got the point, You get that same feeling off of something that's not as big as Beyonce.
Right. So speaking of spending a lot of time and stuff like that. So what are some strategies that you use? Because some people might be listening and being like, I don't have time for all of that. I'm yada, yada, yada. I'm running a business. I'm trying to do this. I don't have time. So I have a few ways that I use to save time. for social media? What are some things that you do?
Honestly, for my social media, my personal social media, I'll talk on first. I literally, when's the last time I posted an actual picture? I posted a picture 3 days ago. I posted a random one at like 1:00 in the morning 2 days ago. And then I dropped one yesterday. So I'll probably go another 3 to 4 days without posting a picture. And I won't post it unless I know it's like substance. Like, you know, what my followers would be like, yes, come through, you know. So that's my strategy. Like with saving time, I don't post every day. And if I do need to get something out, I'll make it, you know, make sure it's out during my peak hours, like I said. But other than that, I try to sporadically post, like, you know, push them out. So 3 days, 5 days, whatever, and make sure it's popping content. So then the engagement will go right to that picture. It'll go right up, and then I can disappear, and it'll still be getting likes when I post my next one. So that's my kind of save time strategy.
What about for business?
For business, I have interns. I have interns. That's the first
free
thing.
Work.
Right, free work. Only times we post is we have different days of the week. So we have motivational Mondays. It's motivational Mondays, and it's mail making moves Mondays. So we post one mail that's making moves. We post one motivational, and then if our clients have something that needs to go out that day, we'll post it. But other than that, that's our set day. Monday, that's what we have. Tuesday, we have Talent Tuesday. That's the only post we'll post, unless again clients fall in that. Wednesday, Woman Working Wednesdays, we post. Thursdays, we kind of give it a break. We don't really post anything on Thursdays unless our clients need something. Fridays, Friday favorites, we post. Saturday, small business Saturdays, and Sunday sports highlights. So we have something for every day, but it's one thing.
Right. Y'all have a theme, so y'all able to pre-plan for it.
Yeah, so it's not. So it's pre-planned. It's already done. We post it, get on social media. Right. That simple. So that's kind of our business strategy.
Yeah, I think what I do is I use Buffer for scheduling content. So I like to I'm such an analytical person. It's ridiculous.
Oh, and we do social media calendars. I'm glad to say that. Social media content calendars.
So I do the same thing. I think about, okay, what's going on this month? What's relevant? What type of content do I need to put out for what I'm eventually selling?
Right.
What I need to do, and just figure all that out, and then be like, all right, here's the calendar. These are the days. Okay, I'm going to put this out this day. Let me reference back to what the peak hours are. All right, I'm going to post it at this time, and then load it all up into Buffer for the entire month. Let it know which social media platform is going to go on, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or whatever. Load it all up on Buffer, and then it posts it for me. Now, Instagram has a little rule where outside softwares can't automatically post on it yet. So what Buffer does, when I load everything in, it'll send me a text or send me an alert saying it's time to post on Black Girl Bosses, and I'll be like, all right. So I click on it. They copy the caption for me, and all I have to do is paste it into the comment. Press post, I'll go back to my notes section and grab the hashtags, put those in the comment box, and I'm logging off. I'm done. It's 2 minutes tops, and I'm finished.
I need Instagram to catch up.
Yeah, it's annoying. I don't even want to do all of that, but yeah.
You just put it in there, and then you just look, and it's like likes and comments, and you didn't even have to do anything.
Exactly.
Come on, Instagram, catch up.
But thank God for interns, because they can have that app on their phone and they can put that content in. I'll load it up on Buffer, and you just make sure it gets there. But Buffer is a big time saver for me. What else do I use? Definitely pre-planning content and using softwares like Buffer to push it out there is extremely important. And then you check back in. If you got a few minutes, check back in, see what people are saying. If somebody comments, respond. If somebody sends you a DM, respond to them, and just definitely engage with your following while they're there.
Oh, another good thing to save time, because we keep referring back to analytics and why it's so important, seeing what your highest days of engagement are. So if you have low engagement on a Tuesday and a Thursday, then don't waste your time. Don't even get on there. But if you have your Monday, your Friday, and your Saturday, and it's at the highest, like that's the highest bars you see, then you need to post at your peak hours, and then after your peak hours is up, roll out. Exactly. That's easy. Like, that's simple. Save you some time. You don't got to be on it every day. Yeah.
And another tip I would say is be patient. You want to create an organic following of loyal people people that are going to buy from you, people that are going to engage with you. Don't be upset because you don't have 10,000 followers yet. Like, be patient. If you're intentional about what you're doing with social media and everything that we said, like you're paying attention to the analytics, you have a strategy behind what you're posting and why you're posting it, you're repurposing content so you're doing less in the end. Those type of things are going to naturally grow your following, and it's going to grow that engaged following that you want, because that engagement is what's going to translate those likes and those views and those follows into sales. And also, again, we say this almost every episode, know who your target audience is. And once you keep providing that value and you're strategic about it, your following will grow. But just be patient. Don't be mad like, oh my gosh, no brand is going to work with me because I don't have 10,000 followers, because that's not true either. If you could tell somebody that you have an active following, brands are hip. They know that people buy followers, and it doesn't make any sense if you have 10,000 plus followers and 13 likes on your pictures. That makes no sense. No sense at all. So if you can sell yourself and learn how to pitch yourself and sell your numbers, then you'll be fine. So just be patient and be strategic. Lastly, since I brought that up, let's talk about social media influencers.
I was going to say, let's talk about that. And let's actually clarify what we mean by organic, right. Because a lot of people like, okay, organic, what's organic? So those like Tatum was saying, those natural followers that come and they're real. Like, you didn't have to pay for them.
No
like,
GMO.
No, right. No GMO. You posted, they follow because they loved your content. Not that you went on an app, paid for $40 for 600 followers. Right. Like, those organic followers where they just came because they just love you so much. So organic that's what that is. So,
something I seen? People will sell social media pages.
I saw that too.
I was like, what?
I saw that too.
It was like, hey, I got a page with 10,000 followers, $200. Who's buying?
Who's buying it? And the crazy thing is, they're selling them, and guess what? They bought followers.
Exactly.
So now they selling you a page that they bought followers for, and you still gonna get 2 likes.
Yeah, but then you buying a page with people who you don't even know if they into what you're selling. Like, so why would you?
And another thing, don't get discouraged if you look one day and you probably have a certain amount of followers, then you come back and your followers have dropped. It's either spam followers, people that just deleted their pages or changed their Instagram, or something happened with their page. So don't get discouraged if you're there for a while. It's gonna come, but you just know that when it continues to increase, it's genuine, it's organic, so it's meaningful. So don't, because I know, like, I've been at 9,400 and something for like a week or so, and I'm like, now I'm at 9,461, but it took me like 4.5 days to get there, because my followers, one day I was at 9,455, then I was 9,450. I'm like, what?
And people might unfollow you, but I look at that the same way as I look at it, my email list. Please unsubscribe if you don't want to buy my stuff.
Yeah,
because then I'm scaling down to the people that's purchasing.
The people that want to follow you and love your content, whether you're following them back or not, they will stay following you.
Exactly.
It's just because we follow a lot of people that don't follow us back, but I like their content so much. I'm like, whatever, I don't even care. Now, people feel like, oh no, I need something to follow because you're not following me back. Girl, bye. Whatever.
Exactly.
Whatever. It's not that deep, but I guess, just like we want to get our followers up, they want to keep theirs up too. So I ain't mad at you, player. Do your job.
So what about influencers? Do you think that businesses influencer marketing is like this new term, and it's something that I understand it. So I'm not going to like say that it's pointless, but it's something that's a big deal in marketing right now. And so how do you feel about it? You think small businesses should use influencers to get their brand out there?
Girl, it's so crazy. Me and my best friend were just talking about that last night in the car, because she was asking my opinion on it.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, I don't think it's bad, especially if they have a genuine and organic following.
Right.
Only because how else are you going to grow? That's just like doing a paid advertisement on Facebook and Instagram.
Right.
You're paying to get more people to see your post or look at your business or whatever you're selling. So using those influencers and paying them is not bad, because they have an organic following. They're following this consistent and supportive, and you can see exactly who's there versus an Instagram advertisement when it's posted. You don't know who's looking at it really. So I think it's dope. I said for her to do it.
Yeah, I think that it can be extremely beneficial, but like you said, making sure that they have an engaged following. So when you're actually soliciting influencers, make sure, like we said, that they have that engaged following. Ask them for their numbers. Ask them for their analytics, what their engagement percentage is, what their conversion rates are, with what other companies have they worked with before. It is nothing wrong with you interviewing them because you're going to be giving them your money.
And how often are they going to post your post?
Yeah.
And for whatever you're paying, because they say $400 for one post. What? Bye.
Exactly.
Please.
Exactly.
What? You could do what you said, $100 for 2 weeks on a social media ad and get 30 people to purchase something, and you paid $100 and they want $400 for one post.
Exactly.
Please.
That they're going to delete in a couple hours.
Exactly. And that's how many hours you're going to keep it up.
And ask them what time is their peak hours and stuff like that, and make sure they post it during that time.
Yeah.
And I will also say, be very smart. See, I think about like influencer marketing, and I be trying to figure out, well, how would I use that for something? So I'm thinking like, if I was to, and this might be costly, but if I was to say be selling like a product, let's say, or if I was a trainer, let's use that example. If I was a personal trainer, I would be like, I would use an influencer and be like, can we work together? I'll give you free services for however time you need. So if 30 days is how much it will take you to get somebody from point A to point B, be like, I'll give you 30 days of free services. Can we post about your journey? So that's something that I would do. So really be as strategic as possible and think about it and make sure that you're getting the most out of the money that you're spending. Don't just toss them $500 and be like, hey, get me sales. No. Be very strategic and look at their page. See what people are talking about. See what people are saying. See the type of people that's following them. If your audience is millennial business owners and all of their following is a bunch of white women in South Dakota, then that's not who you need to be using. So you could fact check them by looking at their own pages and see what it is going on. So those are some of our tips for social media. If y'all have any tips to add to that or anything that we didn't touch on, y'all want to know more about, let us know. So let's take a break and we'll be back. And we're back with questions from the audience. So you guys, if you have a question that you want us to answer on air, please send us a DM on our Instagram at blackgirlbosses, or send us an email, blackgirlbosses@gmail.com, or send us a message on our website at www.blackgirlbosses.com.
All right, so we have, of course, like we do every week, our questions of the week. And we're going to start off with Ashbar the Amazing. What ways do you recommend meeting other like-minded entrepreneurs/professionals?
Networking events.
Jinx, you owe me a soda because that was in my mind. You said the same time I said it in my mind. Yes, networking events. Like, that's the best thing, especially within your niche. Mm-hmm. So if I see a goal-getter's brunch, I'm a goal-getter. I'm gonna set it and I'm gonna go get it.
Right.
I'm gonna go to that goal-getter's brunch because I want to know, what others utilize, how they go get their goals, tactics like that. So networking events, and that's drops mic. That's it. Yeah,
and I would say like there's a bunch of meetups at different places where you can get like a little group. It's like a little group setting, and they meet up consistently. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and social media too. You meet people on social media all the time. Like, don't be afraid to just reach out. I had a girl reach out to me. Her name is Brittany Robinson. Her Instagram name is Fabulous Brittany. Hey, Brittany. And she reached out to me about an event that she was having, and she wanted to just meet me in person and talk because she lives in the area. So we met up last weekend. Mm-hmm. Or this week and talked and stuff. And so now we have each other's numbers, and now she can hit me up whenever she wants about anything or to pick my brain. And I've already asked her questions. She has really good videos about like who edits her videos or what she uses to edit her videos. So you meet people on social media. Just don't be afraid to reach out and go to these events and be ready to, talk to people.
Absolutely. All right. Our next question is from Goes By Twins. Why is it so difficult to get women to support one another? Jealousy.
Yeah. Jealousy. Low self-esteem. Issues that stem from their childhood that they haven't let go of.
Mm-hmm. Not being happy where they currently are in their career field, especially if you share the same career path.
Right.
That's kind of hard for women to accept, like, oh, me and Tatum are both mentors, just saying, and we do the same type of thing. And Tatum is here at Hampton. She's here, and I'm still trying to get a speaking engagement. We're still trying to sit on someone's panel. But that's really in my opinion, why it's difficult for women to support women.
And to be honest, I really don't think it's difficult. The majority, of course, it's exceptions to everything. But I think as a whole, it's really not hard to get women to support each other. You just have to, it just has to be the right women. Mm-hmm. You know, women who are confident in what they have going on, who are positive, who are great. Those are the type of women that's easy to find support with. And to be honest, you don't really want to get support from people that are hated. I would prefer to have a small, solid circle than a big one, and it's people that's plotting on my failure. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I think this podcast is a good example of that. We have a bunch of listeners and people who talk to us and engage with us that we don't know, and they don't know us. You know, they just listen to us because they want, for whatever their reason was to listen to us. You know, that just shows that there are a lot of women who want to support each other. The black woman marketplace is like full of people who support each other, buy from each other. Like I went to a podcast live last night and I was just looking around. There were so many naturalistas in the room. Like it was fro after fro after fro, and then locks, and then one person's fro is dyed and one is pinned up. Like it was so much natural hair
in different ways.
Different ways, and I think that stemmed from the whole natural hair movement, which is just a movement of women supporting each other and learning to love themselves. So I think that it's really not difficult to get women to support one another, but there are those women who have those internal issues that ain't got a damn thing to do with us. Therefore, we pay them no mind. We focus on what's positive, who supports us. We support other people despite whether they support us or not, always do the right thing. So girl, I would say focus on the ones that do support you.
Yeah, and everybody else will come if they come, and if they don't, that's on them. That doesn't stop your success. Just don't be a hater. Be the one that's supporting. We need more supporters and less haters. So if we just continue to produce supporters and support each other, then the amount of hateration will soon die down, hopefully. But we can only keep our fingers crossed and pray that happens.
Yeah.
All right, our next is LL Cool J _ I think it's 2 underscores _ I'm gonna assume so. Let me see.
I mean, maybe.
Let me look back one. Oh, yep, it's 2 underscores _ Okay, so the question says, how can I start and build my brand in college in terms of the sorry guys, in terms of the field in PR? That was a tongue twister for some reason. So I'll read it again more clearly. How can I start and build my brand in college in terms of the field in PR?
I think now is like the perfect time now is in college.
Right.
The perfect time to start building your brand. It's really not that hard.
I mean, me and Tatum and I both graduated with our bachelor's of degrees in PR, so we're speaking from that standpoint.
Yep, and the first thing is get as much experience as possible. Get a lot of it, and don't rely on your education or your school to give you everything that you need, because they won't. That's not their job. Their job is to prepare you to do an entry-level job in whatever your major is, and you just take it from there. So don't rely on your school to teach you anything. Secondly, the first thing is decide what I would do. This is very practical. I will figure out what my dream jobs are at each level of my career. So if you want to be in PR, find out what that entry level job for you consists of that you want. Go look it up and read what type of qualifications they look for and what type of work experience that they look for, and get that now while you're in school. Then look at a mid-level job. So entry level, say you're a PR coordinator or communications assistant, or some type of coordinator / assistant is normally entry level. Look at that, see what they're looking for, and get that experience now. Second, look mid-level, manager. What are they looking for? And try to get that experience now as well. If you want to eventually own your own firm, get with people who already have their own firm and learn from them, and learn the things that they do to succeed. Learn sales and marketing strategies. You have to really take it into your hands. Now, as far as branding goes, I would create a website with my name. I would create tatumharrison.com and blog about whatever I'm interested in. So if I want to be an entertainment publicist, I'm talking about all things entertainment. If there's a scandal going on in the world, so let's say Chris Brown do something else crazy, which you will, talk about how you will handle that as Chris Brown's PR. If anything, just talk about it. Put your resume up there, put pictures up there, professional ones up there, on your social media account. Make sure that it's professional. Don't be out there posting the party that you went to on a Monday and tweeting about how you're so tired in class the next day. That's not a good look. People look at your social media when you apply for jobs. So definitely take everything that I just said and implement that. And that's a really good starting point in terms of branding yourself now.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Tatum. I own my own public relations agency, and the first questions that people always ask, well, how long have you been doing it? And funny thing is, you're in undergrad for 4 years. So just imagine getting out of undergrad and starting a PR firm 2 months later. But luckily, I could say, oh, I've been doing it for, 5 years or X amount of years,
right.
Because I did internships. So technically, you have been doing it. You have internships. So make sure you get your internships in your field. I hate when people get pointless internships just because they want to have fun in the school. No, that's not going to benefit you in the long run, because when you develop a PR resume, you're going to have, I worked at Victoria's Secret. I worked at Victoria's Secret, so it's nothing wrong with that. But you're going to have it on your PR resume with nothing else. Right. So they're going to look at it and say, you didn't do anything in PR. So get your internships in that specific field. And as Tatum said, with the entry level and the mid level and executive levels where you want to work, and being an entertainment publicist, understanding what type of PR you want to do. Right. It's so broad. So if you want to do governmental affairs and public affairs, that's what they normally say PR is in the government. Or lobbying. You don't want to focus on entertainment. You need to be trying to get in those state offices, those, top offices under PR. So those are two things. So your internships are definitely going to be your ticket in undergrad. And Tatum started off the conversation with networking, going to different events, networking with other PR professionals. I know they have a media moguls and media tour going on right now. Place yourself at that. See who you meet there. I know my sister company at the PR Alliance, they sat on the panel, so that would have been a great event to attend. And I think it is coming to the DC, Maryland area if you're located here. I'm pretty sure it's coming other places, but definitely check that out. So see if it's coming to your area to visit it. But those events, networking, and understanding where you want to go in PR would be the most beneficial thing. And Tatum already touched on the branding portion. Everything you should do now should speak PR. Right. And understand that you're young and what you like is going to probably change. So expose yourself to different things. You might think you want to do entertainment PR, but it might just be too much. So try to expose yourself to as much as possible to learn what it is that you like and where you think that you would do best in. And join organizations like being a student is like the best time to join stuff, because it's all cheap. Yeah, PR Students Associate, PR Society of America, whatever, the student one. Join that one. Join Press. Get involved. Get a seat on the board. Like SGA is cool, but get a seat. Yeah, get a seat on the board of the PR organization. I started as the freshman class public relations coordinator at Bethune-Cookman University. That was my first PR niche when I first touched PR. I didn't know if I liked it or not, but once I did that, I was like, oh, I love this. So now look at me. And my degree is in PR, but I ended up in marketing and really loving it. So just be open to the different things and just be intentional about where you want to go now, and don't think that you're too young for anything. Yeah, absolutely. So we hope that definitely helps. And follow my company's pages, U Management, the letter U, MANAGEMENT.LLC, and look at what we do. Check us out. It's literally the letter U now. YOU, the letter U. And, check us out and you can kind of see. And we have internships that you can apply to our summer when it's open. It closes on the 15th of this month. So, if that's something you may be interested in, definitely apply. Right. And focus on, who's this? Oh, this is one of the girls that I'm bringing on as an intern. That's so funny. Oh. So you'll work with Milan anyway, because she's going to be training all the PR interns. But also focus on results. Definitely focus on results. Nobody cares that you contributed to help create press releases. What does that mean? How many placements have you gotten your clients in? Even if you just wrote the headline, you contributed to it. So I contributed to my client being placed in X amount of publications this year.
or how many events did you help plan, and how much did you grow the social following? If social media was something you did, I grew my client social media account by 80% in 60 days. Like, focus on results and put that in your resume, because nobody cares about what you did. They care about the results.
Yeah. I hate when people on their resumes describe the business. Okay, so I can find out the business. What did you do?
Exactly.
Like, I don't like that. And I have a company deck that we send out to all potential and current clients, or anyone that's just inquiring about the business. It has in there our top 2 projects. Like, we show our clients, but the main, like the headliner is the top one that we like. So for example, Yard Talk, we talked about how when we got on board with them, they were 6K. Now they just reached 10K, and their goal was to get to 10K before their 2-year, which is February 8th.
Right.
So that's a milestone, because that's what your client wanted, and you were able to achieve that through these social strategies, social media strategies. And then for my NFL client, his goal was to obtain more sponsorships. He had 1 the year before. When he started working with us, he gained 11.
Right.
So that's like, that's what people look for. They don't care that you work with an NFL client. What did you do?
Exactly. And develop your portfolio.
Yeah.
Have that portfolio ready when you go to if you want to intern with an agency or something. To be honest, if I was to go back, I would get way more experience with people like you and me, and then take that to agencies and get a job there if that's what I wanted to do. So go to these agencies with a portfolio already ready. So I think she goes to Morgan. So like Planet is a good PR agency in Baltimore, and they do internships. So big agencies like that, go and set yourself apart. Have your portfolio ready. Oh, this is my website. I know that y'all get resumes all the time, but click here, and here's my big, beautiful website full of all these great things about me. So do everything that everybody isn't doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And that goes for everyone, not just in the PR field. So just take what we just said and flip it for you and what you're doing.
Exactly. So that's it for questions. Thank you guys so much for submitting your questions, and let's take a break, and we're going to come back with some wins of the week. And we're back with the wins of the week. Guys, thank you so much for submitting your wins. If you want to submit one, send it to us on Instagram at Black Girl Bosses. So the first one comes from at TV20 Jessica. She had a great interview with Steve Wilkos. That's awesome. Congratulations. I was a Jerry Springer fan back in the day. So I love Steve Wilkos. Okay, next we have at Sid Mack Law. My law firm, Sydney Mack, attorney at law, was featured in the February issue of the Atlanta Tribune. Congratulations, Sydney. And she's actually going to be one of our sponsors for the podcast. Woo-hoo. So look out soon for some great things that's coming from Sydney Mack.
Thank you, Sydney.
Yes. Next, we have at Gold-Blooded Calm. Okay. Getting my clients secured for the spot of... Oh, wait. Sorry, y'all. Getting my clients secured for the cover of 2 magazines. That's awesome. Your client success is most definitely your success. So congratulations to you. So, Milan?
I have 2 major, almost kind of solidified wins for the week. So next podcast, I'll share the wins. I don't want to jinx it, but, I got to pray on it and hope that it does come through. So next time.
Okay, cool. So go ahead and give it to yourself. Okay. So I have 2 professional ones and 1 personal one. So I had 2 speaking engagement requests this week. So those are some awesome things that I will be adding to my calendar. And for both of us, for the Black Girl Boss podcast, we brought on some contributors. So yes, we will be celebrating launching our website next week. Okay, and so for the personal one, this one's gonna be a little story. So
I can relax.
You can relax. She was ready. She was like, "I'm not messing this up this week, y'all." So I really want to talk about, just ladies, the importance of us taking care of ourselves and our health. So about 2 years ago, So you're supposed to start getting pap smears at like the age of 21. So after I turned 21, it was more than 2 years ago, but right after I turned 21, I went and got my first pap smear. So my results came back that they were abnormal. And so you have your cells, I learned, can either be normal, they can be abnormal. And abnormal means precancerous, and then they can be cancerous. And so then that's when it progresses to something that's a real problem. So it came back abnormal. I was like, so scared. And so my doctor was like, I needed to basically come back to get a colposcopy. And so that's basically where she takes a deeper look at the cervix. And then, sorry, y'all, if this is TMI, but this is a girl show and whatever. So they take a deeper look at the cervix to see if a biopsy is necessary. And when you take a biopsy, that's when you take a sample and send it over to see if the cells that are abnormal are cancerous or not. So I went back, got the colposcopy. She said that a biopsy wasn't necessary, but I needed to come back every 6 months to get checked just so she could monitor them and make sure that they don't go from precancerous to cancerous. So I was like, oh my God, okay. So I went for the first appointment after that, and it was the same thing. They were still abnormal. And so I didn't go back for a year and a half. Supposed to go every 6 months, got so freaking caught up in my own stuff, my own life, the hustle and bustle. And so it's been on my mind, like, Tatum, you need to make an appointment and go back. But I was halfway scared because it's like, I haven't been in so long. Like, what if this comes back? Like, it's something that's cancerous. Right. And so I was talking to my boyfriend about it, and he was like, no, we don't live in fear. So you need to go, and see what's going on. So I'm like, ugh, all right. So I made the appointment, and so my doctor was like, why haven't you been here? And I was like, I've been busy. Like, she's like, no, you need to take your health seriously. Right. And this is something that we can monitor so easily. So why would you not come and make sure that you're okay? I was like, dang, my boss is my OBGYN is a white lady. And she was like, I was like, dang, this white woman is letting my ass have it right now. But she was so right. Like, I was neglecting myself. So anyway, so I was like, whatever, lady, I'm here. So can we just get this over with? So she went in and she checked. And so she emailed me back a couple days later. And it was like, my cells are normal. So I don't have any issues. Not going to get cancer. Go ahead, Blood. It's okay. But I'm really excited about that because it was definitely scary. And I want you guys to understand that you really have to take care of yourself. Go to all your appointments, get your physicals, get your pap smears, and just definitely go take care of yourself, because you can't have a successful business and you can't be there for your clients, your customers, your consumers if you're not healthy. So that's it for this episode of the show. I feel like this is a long one. We'll see.
It was like, it felt long, but it felt so short.
I know. So thank you guys so much for hanging in there with us every week. And we look forward to chatting with y'all next week. See ya.
See ya.